Good afternoon, Veena here. I would like to welcome everyone to the iBUG Apple workshop for Saturday, November 20, 2021. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. More and more of the blind and visually impaired community are finding the Apple devices to be useful assistive technology tools in their daily lives. Whether at home, at work or school, or on the go, the accessibility features of the Apple devices have cleared new pathways for the visually impaired to be more productive, consume online content, stay connected through social media and have fun. This meeting is being recorded. To enhance the quality of the recording, please minimize side conversations. Also, please set your devices to mute and use your headphones to not disturb others. If we hear any phone ringtones or voiceover speaking aloud, we may unfortunately have to remove you from the meeting. We ask that everyone stay on mute, unless, of course, you have a question or comment. We have an exciting meeting planned for today. We will first review some iBUG announcements and some recent Apple news and rumors. Then, Mo, Kris, and Steven will demo some native and third-party apps. Finally, we will spend any remaining time to answer questions you may have. I would now like to turn the meeting over to the iBUG guy, Michael McCulloch. Ready to go, Michael?
Yes. Thank you, Veena. We are ready to go. And I just want to welcome everyone to our iBUG Apple workshop. As Veena said, I don't even know the episode number. I was supposed to get that. I think it's 79. So we'll go with that. We want to not only those that are here not in person, but live virtually into our meeting, but those that'll be listening to this via the recorded playback. Welcome to you also. As Veena said, we have just a few rules. We would like for you to stay on mute, and we don't use the hand raise feature of Zoom. Instead, whenever you want to ask a question or make a comment, unmute yourself and say your name. Wait to be recognized by one of the facilitators, either myself or my co-host Sandhya Rao. And then you can go ahead and ask your question at that point. How do you unmute, you may ask? If you're on a PC, it is Alt-A. If you're on a Mac, that's Command-Shift-A. If you're on the iPhone, there should be a little button down in the bottom left corner, and on an iPad up in the top, slightly off to the right of center. And if you're on an Android device, you're in the wrong meeting. All right, very good. Now we are going to take some time, go around and have people introduce themselves. We'll be unmuting here in just a moment. And when you introduce yourself, not only say your name, where you're from, but also, since we are here not a little less than a week away from Thanksgiving here in the United States anyway, we would like to ask you to name one app that you are thankful for. All right, so let's, Sandhya, if you can unmute people, and we'll go around and have people introduce themselves.
This is Marty. My audio button. Active speaker avatar. Screenshot. Safari hour 3:04 p.m. Use my audio button.
Okay, Marty, what app are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for all the apps.
All right. Okay, very good. Keep going. Okay, next.
Sandhya, you're getting an echo.
Yeah, I know.
This is Claudia in Houston.
Go ahead, Claudia.
And I'm thankful for FaceTime.
All right, great. And Mr. McCulloch, you're muted right now in case you didn't know. Okay. Keep going. Claudia, thank you. Welcome. Who's next?
This is Jody.
Hey, Jody.
Hi, Jody in New Hampshire, and without a doubt, voice stream scanner and reader also.
Okay,
All
great.
right, very good. The voice
There you are.
stream. All right, let's see. Keep going. Name, where you're from, and one app that you are thankful for.
Brad?
Hi,
Jim?
this is Cynthia. I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and the one app that I like is Be My Eyes.
Yes, ma'am. Good. Brad, what's next?
It's Brad. I'm in Dallas, and I'm thankful for the Amazon app because it is so much simpler to use than that complicated website.
Definitely. Next.
This is Sri from Virginia, and I am thankful for Zoom because without that, I wouldn't be here today.
All right, another Zoomer.
It's Kathy. And
Go-
I would have to say, I'm thankful for Dice World. It's helped me get through the pandemic,
All
bringing
right.
me hours of fun.
All right, very good. Next.
This is Arlene from North Carolina.
You got an app that you like, you were thankful for?
I'm going to say Be My Eyes.
All right, another Be My Eyes.
This is Jim from North Carolina.
What's your app, Jim?
I like Be My Eyes, and I agree with also Zoom. It's been
All
very,
right.
very nice,
Yeah.
especially for the movies.
All right, go ahead. Next.
This is Stephen from Austin, and I'd say, gosh, it's hard to pick one app in particular, but I'd have to say probably the IRA app has definitely become one of my favorites because they've really helped me in my business to do tasks
Oh,
that
yeah.
wouldn't be able to do myself. So yeah, that'd probably be it.
Very good. Thanks, Stephen.
This is Ned from Texas.
Yes,
And
sir.
and I have two apps. I have Be My Eyes and Seeing AI.
All right, very good. Next.
Julie from Iowa. I am thankful for the eBay app. I spend too much time on it.
Okay, very good. And for those just joining us, we are going around introducing ourselves, name, where you're from, and one app that you're thankful for.
This is Freddie.
Dave from.
Go ahead, Freddie.
I'm thankful for the TV app and the Seeing AI.
Very good.
Dave from Winnipeg. And I'm thankful for the Kindle app.
All right, way to go, Kendall. Anybody else out there didn't get to introduce themselves?
This is Sandhya.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
Let's see. I'm thankful for the NFB Newsline and Bard. Sorry, cheated. 2 apps instead of 1.
Can't follow directions. Okay, next.
Kris in Texas, and I'm thankful for the Do Not Disturb app.
I haven't heard of that one, but that's
I wish
good.
we had that in real life. Like,
All right, who's next? Anybody else?
Dana in Ohio, and I like the eyebrow. Eyebrow helps me out a lot.
Okay, I thought you were going to say you like the Laugh Track app.
Yeah, well, that helps too.
When you practice your jokes, you have to have that. Okay, anybody else? All
Hello,
right.
this is Mo in Houston.
Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
The app I'm most thankful for is Bard Mobile.
Bard Mobile, another reading app. Very good. Okay, I think we got everybody that wants to introduce themselves. We'll probably about halfway through, we'll come back. Anybody that joins us here later can have a chance also. Was I muted when I said mine? I can't remember.
we didn't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I must have been muted. Okay, yeah. Michael in Houston again, and I'm going to go with the Zoom app also. we definitely wouldn't be doing any of this without it. So, all right, very good. Thanks everybody for indulging us with that. All right, now we want to see if is there anybody that's a first timer at this meeting, guest or otherwise.
I am.
Who is that? Who just said that? I am. Is that Cynthia?
No, sir.
Who's speaking, please?
All right, I'll have to move on. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, they may be muted or something.
All right. If whoever just said that you're a first timer, if you get a chance to step back in, we will greet you and welcome you a little more properly. Okay, very good. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. All right, let's see. For November, we want to also recognize anyone's birthday or anniversary of any kind. Any November birthdays out there?
This is Sri.
Yep.
Sri, go ahead.
So I will be celebrating my 1-year anniversary with iBUG in 3 days.
All right, very good.
Cool.
I don't even remember when mine was, but go ahead. That's great.
This is Dana. My 54th birthday is Monday.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Send money.
PayPal.
Yep, I accept
Work
PayPal, checks.
Mr. Dana
Cash.
on PayPal, Venmo, Cash App.
Yep. Gestures, checks, whatever, you know.
All right, all right. Okay, I thought I heard somebody else that said, yep, sounded like a North Carolinaner.
This is Cynthia. My 10-year wedding anniversary is the 23rd, next Tuesday.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya.
Mine was on the 3rd. So
The 3rd. Okay, very good. Any other birthdays? I know there's.
well, I think somebody's being shy. We're gonna call her out. Go ahead. You want to call her out, or are you gonna speak up?
This is Kris.
Chris is also another November baby.
It's my birthday.
Yeah, we don't play around here, okay?
What's the actual date?
26.
November 26th, next something. Is that Thanksgiving Day this year?
Day after.
Day after. Okay, very good. Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anybody else?
I don't want to interrupt, but I couldn't unmute. I'm a first timer. This is Paula from New Jersey.
Oh, Paula, very good. Well, welcome. We're so glad to have you with us. How'd you hear about iBUG?
Somebody, I take TGJ classes and someone in that class mentioned you. So I've been getting your messages, but this is the first time I've joined you.
Okay, well, great. We are so happy to have you with us. What kind of Apple devices do you have?
I have an iPhone SE, an iPad, and a mini Mac computer.
Oh, wow. You are got everything there. Which one's your favorite?
Right now, it's the iPhone.
Okay. The iPhone SE, is that the older one or you got the 2020?
I have the 2020.
Okay, very good.
I don't want to give up my home button.
Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. Well, we are so glad to have you with us and keep coming back as much as you can. And, you know, we have a number of different other training sessions going on besides this one. Okay. Any other birthdays, anniversaries out there for November? A couple of people that I know of that are iBUG members that aren't on this particular call. Kelsey, one of our mentors, and who's another mentor that's not? Oh, we caught Kris already. And Alma also has a birthday in November.
And this is Sandhya. One more.
And
Marion, our friend Marion.
oh, that's right.
She's not here, but we are going to get her after this.
Another one of our mentors. Okay, that's great. All right. Well, let's move on. We're going to go through some announcements, things coming up in the month of December. So just real quickly, and all the times I'm going to mention are Central Time. And don't expect you to remember all of these. And we'll tell you after we get through them how you can always find this information. First, we got iBUG Unplugged. That's on Clubhouse. We're going to be talking about holiday memories and traditions. That'll be December 4th at 8 p.m. on Clubhouse. Then we have our Vila Book Club. This month, we are reading The Lions of Fifth Avenue by Fiona Davis. And that DB number, if anybody hasn't found it yet, is DB 99608. 99608. And that meeting is December 9th. So you got plenty of time to read that, 6:30 p.m. Then we've got the iBUG Cafe, our deep dive training session. And Shri Roy leads that, and we will be going in depth on some password apps. So join us for that on Sunday, December 12th at 4 p.m. Then for our Android users or Alexa, a lot of Apple people also have Alexa devices and all kinds of different other devices that are Android based. Android Insight, Wednesday, December 15th at 7 p.m. And then going back on Clubhouse, we have our social event called It's iBUG's Life. And I don't know what the topic is. I have to get with George to find that out. But of course, we'll be sending out notices of that. That is Thursday, December 16th. Then this meeting will be, normally it's on the fourth Saturday, but again, we're going to be, since that's Christmas Day, we're going to be moving it up a week. That'll be Saturday, December 18th will be our last meeting of the year, Apple Workshop, right back here at 2 p.m. Then we have our Mac and Talk for our Mac users. That'll be Tuesday, December 21st. And I think that may be our last training session of the year. So please join us for that. 7 p.m., December 21st, right here on Zoom. Then every Monday at 7:30 p.m., of course, we have our iBUG Buzz, the open Q&A help session. All of our meetings are recorded, and you can find those on our website. A number of them you can find on YouTube. Just do a search for iBUG today. If you have your favorite smart speaker, Apple's, you can go on Spotify, Alexa, or your favorite podcast app, the Monday Night iBUG Buzz. You can find that by saying play iBUG Buzz podcast. Also on Clubhouse, every Tuesday at 5 p.m., we have a shorter version of the iBUG Buzz called the Mini Buzz. Also on Clubhouse for Mac users, we have Mac Buzz the first and third Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Another social type event, we have some Trekkies out there. And so we're currently watching Star Trek Discovery series, and that's on the first and third Thursdays at 8 p.m. We watch those ahead of time and then come together and discuss those 2 episodes per night. And then finally, every Friday night is our popular iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies at 8 p.m., 7:30 for the pre-movie social. And that's right here on this same Zoom line. Those are all our group things. We do have some one-on-one training, iBUG Jumpstart Mentoring, and I will allow Sandhya to tell you a little bit more about iBUG Jumpstart Mentoring.
All right. Yes, sir. So iBUG Jumpstart Mentoring Program is a great program if you are still wanting to learn how to use your iPhone. If you're a new user and you're ready to throw it out the window, this is where you would like to get some help. We can help you fill out the application, please, on our website, and then we will match you up with one of our amazing advanced users. And this program is entirely, completely, and totally free. So all we ask is that you do your homework and really just try to put your heart into learning this amazing device, and you'll be on your way. So that is a 12-week, several sessions, 2-hour sessions. So definitely check it out. And if you are an advanced user and want to help other people, we could definitely and appreciate your help, because all of our mentors are volunteers, and we're so eternally grateful to them. Thank you.
All right, very good. Thanks, Sandhya. Yes, as she mentioned, not only the Jumpstart Mentoring is a free, but everything we do is provided free to everyone, including we don't charge any kind of membership or dues. As far as if you need to go find any of this information, the best place probably is our website, ibugtoday.org. or ibugtoday.com. Either one works. There you'll find all kinds of good information, not only our schedules of upcoming events, you'll find all the recordings of the training sessions. If you want to get on our mailing list, there's a link right there on the homepage, says register to join iBUG, and just fill out a short little form with your email and name, and that'll get you on our mailing list, and you'll get notified in your email of upcoming meetings. We have a Facebook group, facebook.com/iBUG today, and join that group. That's a great place not only to get announcements, but to also, if you have a question in between any of our training sessions, you can post them there, and we have people monitoring that. They can answer those for you. If you want to follow us on Twitter, our handle is @iBUG today, and our Twitter master is always tweeting, retweeting great information every single day. Then those are probably all the main ways to keep in touch with us. Okay, so at this point, I am going to hand it back over to, well, yeah, okay, go ahead. Sandhya is going to tell us some news for the past month in the Apple world. News and rumors.
I'm not going to ask. Okay, let's go. We got lots of cool news. And usually I'd like to say best for last, but I couldn't wait. Okay, guys, we're all waiting for this, right? Apple is working. So I'm not going to say best for last. We're going to go best for first. Okay. Apple is working toward a fully autonomous vehicle with no steering wheel or pedals. Okay. And this is set to launch in 2025. So just hang on 4 more years. 4 more years. As Bloomberg explains, Apple has been working on a 2-vehicle path. So one was with limited self-driving capabilities, and then the other one is full self-driving functionality, and that will require no human intervention. And the company will now pursue this second path under the leadership of Kevin Lynch. And so this chip that will power this Apple car, the chip is the most advanced component that Apple has developed internally, and is made up of primarily neural processors that can handle the artificial intelligence needed for autonomous driving. So this chip's capabilities mean it will run hot as in hot. And it is likely that it will need a very sophisticated cooling system. Bloomberg said that Apple has considered a design similar to the lifestyle vehicle from Canoo, CANOO, in which passengers sit alongside the vehicles, facing one another. And let's see, Apple is discussing the inclusion maybe of a steering wheel, which may be required for people to take control in the event of an emergency. There will be an iPad-like tablet that people can interact with the vehicle, and the passengers can possibly control the car with the iPad. Apple wants its cars to be safer than those manufactured by Waymo and Tesla. All right.
So to control it, you have to learn the rotor gesture to be able to turn.
If that isn't an incentive, I don't know what is. So hang on till
One thing I didn't catch, how many O's are in canoe?
well, this one has 2 O's. I just threw in an extra one.
Yeah, I
to see if
thought I
you're
heard 3 in
paying
there.
attention.
All
The
right.
self-driving car is in 4 years. They will definitely have to partner with others. So they're in talks, of course, about that. Next, Apple is researching an all-glass iPhone and Apple Watch. If you were worried about dropping your phone now, which I'm not. I think I drop mine at least once or twice a day. But anyway, so there are some patents about that, all enclosed glass enclosures with 6-sided surface. So that would have to be our iPhone, right? The cool thing that they said is that you will be able to get information from the sides of the phone as well. So who knows how that is going to work. A new feature called iFixit. So iFixit is, well known. iFixit is the company that goes and breaks down and tears down different devices to see what's on the inside, because we all want to know what we just paid for, right? So there's a new feature from Apple called self-service repair program. And so iFixit is really saying this is a remarkable concession from Apple. So this self-service repair program, which is designed to allow customers access to genuine Apple parts, tools, and manuals for making their own device repairs. So, so you can subscribe to the the Mac rumors. People are talking all about this this capability. And so this gives customers the kind of unprecedented access to repair guidelines and hardware. And it is a major win for right to repair advocates. And so let's see how all that plays out. And for years, Apple has kind of said that it would harm the device and all kinds of, they would harm the customers and they didn't know what would happen. And so all those arguments have been upended or overthrown, whatever you want to say. Okay, next. Next thing, Apple's is planning to pay 100 million with an M to settle various developer lawsuits regarding the what happened to the App Store. So they are going to deal with that. Because there were some anti-competitive issues that were going on, and so they've decided to settle that with $100 million. I think that's going to be just fine. Let's see. Next, we had an issue with, this was a very cool story. A 9-year-old girl saved her parents' lives by using Face ID to unlock her dad's phone. There was a nor'easter up in, well, I don't know, somewhere up north, I guess. And
Winnipeg.
They had Winnipeg. Okay. So then they were using the, what is that thing called? What is that thing? Mr. McCulloch, a generator. Yes, a generator. And then they brought it in, and for whatever happened, so her parents lost consciousness. And then she was able to quickly unlock the phone with her dad's face. And so that was pretty awesome. So she saved them. But we know there are other ways to access the emergency features on your iPhone. You can, you can always unlock a phone and call 911. Even when it's locked, you can call 911, and you can call emergency services. So that's what. But this girl didn't. Oh, and luckily, attention was not turned on. Attention is the feature that requires you to be actually looking at the phone to unlock it. So that was a good thing that was
How old
not
was
on.
she?
9.
Oh, very good.
Pretty smart chick. Okay, let's see. what else? So yeah, that girl. Okay, next, Facebook, guys. Facebook is shutting down face recognition efforts and deleting data. So Facebook will limit the use of facial recognition in its products, and in the coming weeks will delete all stored facial data of its users. Facebook has announced at the end of its face recognition system, stating that the company will delete more than 1 billion with a B people's individual facial recognition templates, according to press release. The company believes that while facial recognition can be helpful in certain instances, such as identity verification or fraud prevention, there are legitimate concerns to be addressed, and there are many concerns about the places of facial recognition technology in society, and regulations are still being processed, at the legislative level. So until then, we'll get some guidance. So amid this ongoing uncertainty, we believe limiting the use of facial recognition to a narrow set of use cases is appropriate. So according to the social media giant, more than 1/3 of Facebook daily active users have opted to use Facebook's face recognition setting. The same tool was centered in a lawsuit that claimed that Facebook will be, ending in the future. Oh, also, this will affect us, guys. Yes. So it will no longer, we know that Facebook will automatically tell you, hey, you're in this picture with Kris or whoever it is that's in the picture. And, the automatic tagging and all that. So the automatic alt text, which is helpful for us blind users, that was designed to create image descriptions for blind and visually impaired users, will no longer identify specific users. However, alt text will continue to determine how many people are in the photo and attempt to describe the scene for visually impaired people. So
I thought if you take a picture with Kris, she won't show up.
Maybe, I don't know. Is she like a ghost or something? So Apple
have an image when she looks in the mirror. That's what I heard anyway.
Apple says to shop early for the holidays, okay? But remember that they are going to extend their return deadlines. So that's good. So that is not an excuse. Sometimes you wonder, well, if I buy it now, are they going to still get the 14, whatever, return window, and what will that be? And so you can return things. So Apple's extended return policy is now in effect ahead of the 2021 holiday shopping season. And the company is advising customers to start their shopping early. And according to Apple, the most products purchased from November 1st through December 25th will have a return date of January 8th, 2022. So, Mr. McCulloch, those are some of our highlights of our Apple news. There's lots more, but I could go on and on. But I just can't. I'm so excited about the car. That's
so is Apple having a Black Friday sale?
There are lots of sales going on.
Rarely do they put anything on sale unless it's through one of their third-party sellers. Okay, very good. Oh, I was going to ask you when you're reading your Braille display, does it in between your items, does it actually say da?
No, I say that.
You're just reading that or not.
All right, very good.
All right, thank you, Sandhya, for all that great news. And Facebook, which is now Meta, I think, or under the Meta umbrella there. It's the new Facebook company. All right, let's see. We have a tradition here at iBUG.
We do.
And before we get into our demos, let's see if I can find it here.
It's Thanksgiving Day and we're gathered round. Little children make a joyful sound. And there's no school and we get to play. And we're all thankful for this day, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. There's a wreath of leaves on the front door, and we all say what we're thankful for. There's such good food and there's such great fun, and there's such big smiles on everyone, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. We all join hands and sing the song with happy hearts and a love that's strong. We bow our heads, then we have our feast. It's a lovely day to say the least, except for the turkey. La 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 la. Except for the turkey. So if you're a turkey and you're still alive, you might kinda wanna hide, or soon you'll probably be dead meat. On this festive day, you're what we eat. So fly away to a distant land where people think turkeys are grand. Spread your wings and soar up high, and be thankful birds can fly, except for the turkey. La 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 la.
Okay, it's got some more verses, but I will go ahead and pause it there.
Thank you. I'm thankful for that.
We are so happy for the turkey song. Long live the turkey song. All right. I think now we can, well, let's see, quickly unmute everybody. See if there's anybody has questions on any of our news and rumors or anything else we've said so far up to this point.
All right, people, anybody say your name, please, if you have a question or a comment.
Jose.
Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I want to ask this a general question. Can you guys tell me just briefly, I'm looking into getting a new iPad. Can you tell me what the main difference is between an iPad and an iPad Pro? I know the iPad Pros cost a lot more money, but what's some of just a few of the major differences?
Okay, we'll open that up to any of our users that have an iPad Pro or iPad or wants to comment about any of those. Well, I'll give you my 3 cents anyway. So the iPad Pro is has a better processor, and it has screen sizes that I forget, it goes up to
12.9.
12, 13 inch, something like that. Yeah. So you can get a bigger screen. So if you've got some little bit of vision, that might be helpful. But they haven't upgraded that in a while, I don't think. The iPad Air they've said now it's probably running just as fast as the iPad Pro, and very likely here in the spring there'll be a refresh on some of the iPads.
So basically it goes from iPad to iPad Air to iPad Pro as far as, oh, they're making it more complicated.
Yeah. So, but
yeah, because my iPad's pretty older. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, it's like 3 years old, and I'm thinking about upgrading. So
yeah,
I just think about jumping to the next generation of iPads.
Yeah, the basic iPad is really good, though. I mean,
well, you know, the thing is that if not, I just might replace it with the most recent one, because the thing is on my iPad, the one I have now, my screen cracked, and so they had to replace the screen, and they also had to replace the button. But now my button doesn't work. Like the where it detects your fingerprint, that feature is no longer working because they had to replace my button with another one. And for technical issues, it doesn't recognize my fingerprint anymore. So now I have to manually put in my password, which is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
This is
Terry.
All right, we're gonna have to keep it quick, guys.
All right,
Okay,
we'll let Sri and Terry, and then we're gonna have to move on. Yeah.
I was just going to quickly say that, for general use, you don't need to get the Pro. I think it's probably way beyond what we really need it for. And I was also going to suggest that, there is the iPad mini, and you can use the same gestures without the home button to do unlocking.
Okay, thanks, Sri. Terry Ann?
I was just gonna point out that there's also an iPad mini so
Oh.
you've got 4 levels of iPads to weigh in on in the mix.
Yeah, the iPad mini just came out this past fall too, and I've heard it's really pretty good too. A lot of people like it. The other thing with the iPad Pro, again, this is more for sighted people. It has a stylus for writing on, drawing, taking notes like that too. All
This is
right,
Sri.
we need to move on here. Go ahead, Sri, real quick.
I don't have I also have a non-iPad Pro, and I can use the first generation stylus on it, so it works on the general iPad also.
Oh, okay. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. All right, let's. We're gonna have to move on. We got several demos to do. So first up, we've got Mo Salama, and Mo has been with iBUG a number of years, done some demos here before, if you'll remember. And so, Mo, you want to tell them which app that you're going to be talking about today?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're still a little bit far from the mic sounding, but go ahead.
Okay, great. Thank you. So this afternoon, I am going to be demoing another weather app. This is a third-party application app called What the Forecast.
2:42 p.m. 3 notifications.
With that, let's get started. Are you able to hear voiceover? Okay.
Messages.
Yeah, we hear it.
Okay, great. Open What the Forecast.
What the forecast. Loading. Ellipsis. Hairlines. TX. Silver lining. Except that one. That one is hoping you fail.
Okay. So one of the main features I think that attracts most people to this app is the whimsical descriptions of the weather forecast rather than just, hey, it's cloudy or sunny or what have you. They have lots of phrases. I like that part of it, but also it has a lot of other features that I'm going to point out here today,
Pre-watch. Speech off.
during our demo.
Speech off. Pre-watch. Dismiss.
Okay.
TX.
So when you start the app, the home screen has, we're basically going to start at the home screen and walk through that. And then we will be essentially swiping right all the way down. And it goes down pretty far. And then we're going to get into settings and so on and so forth. But with that said, before I move on, I also wanted to point out this app allows you to set up multiple locations. So if you're interested in weather in multiple locations other than where you currently are, that's certainly an option.
Hairlines. TX. Share. Button. Share. Locations. New to. Button.
So here locations, and I have 2 locations loaded, the current location and another.
Settings. New to. Button.
Settings.
Set. Current location. Every cloud has a silver lining. Except that one. That one is hoping you fail. Button.
And this is the current comment. And you can actually refresh these comments, and every time you either close the app and relaunch it, or you can hit menu and hit the refresh button. It will give you a new comment that is suitable for the current weather conditions.
Saturday, November 20th. Mostly cloudy.
So then you get a regular description of the current weather.
78 degrees Fahrenheit. Button.
You get the temperature.
Refresh. Button.
So
Refresh.
this is the refresh button I was referring to that allows it to load a new comment on what the weather looks like as well.
Refresh. Refresh.
So when you're doing that,
miserably warm and cloudy.
There you go. So it just announced what it thinks the weather is.
78 degrees Fahrenheit. Refresh. 78 degrees up. Moon. button.
Now, now we're about to get into some of the features I really like, which go beyond the weather, the standard temperature and humidity, and get into wind speed, UV, pollution, and so on. So we'll see all that as we'll hear that as we traverse the screen here. So I'm simply swiping right with each of these.
Feels like 78 degrees.
So that's the feels like, obviously, for either if you have wind chill or heat index, it takes that into account and adjusts the feels like temperature.
More button. 5 miles per hour SSE.
So that is referring to the wind speed. And if for those who have some vision, there's actually also a windmill that spins, and it's synchronized, or it's indicative of correlates to the speed of the wind. So right now it's spinning fairly slowly, but and that's a feature you can turn on or off, the spinning windmill.
Current conditions.
Okay, now it gets into the current conditions. They have lots of them, so bear with me. I'm not going to dwell on any of them, but if anybody has any questions for later, happy to talk about them.
Sunrise. 6:50 a.m.
So it tells us what the sunrise time is in my local location for today.
Sunset. 5:24 p.m.
5:24 is sunset.
Humidity.
Humidity level.
70%.
70%.
Dew point.
Dew point, which I've read the Wikipedia entries several times for, and I still don't understand it, but I think it is.
67 degrees. 78 degrees. Wind. 5 miles per hour SSE.
So the wind is at 5 miles an hour south-southeast. So those are abbreviations if you're into the wind. That's one of the things I like to look at, especially when going outside for a walk.
Freeze.
This is actually, I was wondering what that is. It is an abbreviation of pressure.
30.09 in HG down arrow.
So this is pressure as measured by mercury. Again, my settings here, we'll get to this later, but all my settings are American/British settings, so it's not metric. So if there are folks from Canada, you can certainly go and switch that, and folks from Europe and other parts of the world.
Feels like 70 heat N/A heat index.
So it has a specific, aside from the feels like entry that we heard earlier, there's a feels like that has the heat index. And in this case is not applicable because there's no heat index.
Wind chill. N/A.
Same thing. We're very fortunate not to have any wind chill.
UV index.
This is one I like. UV
1
index.
of 12.
1 of 12. I'm not as familiar with the UV index previously, so it's something I want to start looking for.
Visibility. 15 miles.
Visibility is 15 miles. That would be fantastic. I wish I could get 1 mile visibility, but you know.
Hourly forecast. 3 p.m.
Okay, so then it goes into the hourly forecast. I'm not going to bore you with every single entry, but you can imagine.
4 p.m. 5 p.m. 8 p.m.
One comment I have here is, unfortunately, the way they have this set up, you have to scroll all the way through all the hours first before it goes to the next column, which happens to have the temperature and conditions. That would be one comment/recommendation I would make to the developer, is to maybe change the layout so that when you are scrolling, you hear each hour and its corresponding weather conditions, as opposed to having to go all the way down before you hear them, because it's, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be able to know which temperature correlates to which hour, the way it's currently designed. So that's one drawback that I have with it for this app, but has many other great features.
4 a.m. 11, 12, 1 p.m.
So I'm just very quickly swiping, doing a one finger swipe to the right to get through all the hours.
5 a.m. 74 degrees.
So now we're going through the temperature.
70, 58, 60, 0%.
Okay, now it's talking about
0%, 0%, 68 degrees.
precipitation.
0.
So essentially, if you were to imagine this, you have
0%.
each hour in one column, and to the right of it is the temperature for that hour, the chance of precipitation to the right of that.
0%. 8 miles per hour SE.
Okay, and now it's talking about the wind.
7 miles.
Basically, the hourly conditions you're getting
7 miles. 3 miles per hour SW.
several components: the temperature, the precipitation, and the wind speed.
13. 30.12 and H. 30.0.
And now we're into the pressure for each of the hours. So as I said, great valuable information, just the way, unfortunately, the way it's laid out, it doesn't work well with voiceover, especially if you're gonna, you're trying to find out the weather conditions for an hour that's much later.
67 degrees.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just skip past the rest of the hourly conditions here and go down to the next section.
Hourly forecast. Precipitation forecast.
Okay, so there's an hourly forecast, a precipitation forecast.
15 miles. Hourly forecast. 3 p.m. Precipitation forecast.
There's a precipitation forecast.
2:40. Speech off.
So Mo, if you can maybe make it a little louder, or
Sure.
It's getting a little softer there. I don't know if you can.
Okay, sorry, I turned it on.
Speech on. Precipitation. Incoming call. Monologue on. Signal miserable. 2. Try again. Button.
Sorry about that.
Passcode field. Speech on. Miserably warm and cloud. Speech on.
Okay.
Precipitation forecast.
So there's a precipitation forecast.
Powered by wet current sunrise. 5:24 precipitation forecast. Powered by weather. Precipitation 0%.
Okay. So that's about it for the main screen.
Powered by current sunrise.
Okay, so now we've essentially covered the entire first default tab.
Speech off.
Now, if we swipe down all the way to the bottom of the screen, we get to the tabs that are at the bottom. There are multiple tabs.
Speech on. Powered by current condition sunrise.
So we were on the default tab was the current conditions. Now there's a sunrise tab.
6:50 a.m. Sunset. Powered by current sunrise. 6:50 sunset. 5:20. 78 wind. 5 miles per hour SSE. Powered by current.
Do not disturb is already on.
6:50 a.m. 0%. 0%. 0%. 0%. 0%. 0%. Powered by Earth weather.
Okay.
Button.
Next, I wanted to take you through the settings screen. or actually, I apologize. First, we're going to go through switching locations. So again, if we swipe up and go to the top of the screen.
Hairland TX. Share button. Locations new to button. Location.
So if we double tap the single finger double tap the locations, it will open up the locations screen that I currently have set up.
Locations. Edit. But close.
Okay, you see there's an edit. We skipped it because we're not going to edit in this case.
Current location.
Usually the current location where it just reads your current GPS and gives you the corresponding weather.
München, Germany.
I added Munich, Germany.
Actions available.
Locations I'm interested in. So you can simply, by double tapping it, it would take us to the
München, Germany.
In Munich, Germany.
It's colder than an ice fisherman's naughty bits.
So there you go.
38 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's 38 degrees. Okay. So now we're going to jump into the settings.
Last updated 9:56 p.m. Saturday. It's colder than an settings new to button. Settings.
Okay.
Settings.
So now we're in the settings screen.
Settings. Close. In-app purchases and merge.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to mention earlier or now is that this is a free app, but it has ads. I chose to remove the ads and I paid, I don't recall the exact amount, but I paid whatever the amount was. It was less than $3.
Remove ads. Purchased.
So that's what this option is.
Extra voices. 99 cents USD.
So you can purchase extra voices, but since I do have VoiceOver already turned on, I didn't really feel that there was a need for that.
Restore purchases. What the forecast merge. But app options.
Okay, and now we've scrolled down to app options.
Units. US F degrees. Miles per hour.
So this is we're using US Fahrenheit degrees and miles per hour as opposed to degrees Celsius and kilometers per hour.
Profanity. Some.
Okay, this is this is probably the most important setting in this app, especially if you have children or if you're potentially offended by profanity. So we're going to scroll through this here.
Voice settings on. Profanity. Some.
Okay. So I'm going to double tap the profanity.
Close. But on R.
Okay, so you have multiple settings. One is rated R, essentially.
Selected. Some. PG -13.
So in this case, I have, for the purposes of this demo and the kids being around, I change it to PG-13.
Minimal. PG.
And you can set it down to minimal PG.
Off.
Or you can have no phrases whatsoever and just have a standard weather app with cloudy, sunny, what have you. So that we'll close.
Close button.
Okay.
App options.
Continue on.
Units. US selected. Profane voice settings on.
Okay. Voice settings. We can go into that.
Voice controls.
Excuse me, Mo. About 2 more minutes, okay?
Okay.
Volume.
Okay.
Hi. Voice name. US Ava.
Okay. Again, the voices, they really use the built-in voices if you don't have purchased additional voice packages. So I have mine set to use Ava. I enabled this, but then I found that it's really interfering with the voiceover. So
volume. Hi button.
I'm not sure for us or for users who use voiceover extensively
Voice name.
how this would be
US
helpful.
Ava button. Close button.
Okay.
So restore purchases with the app of units profanity selected. Voice set text / font settings.
You can change some of the appearance settings, things like set text and font. I didn't find that to be helpful, obviously.
Background standard.
You can change the background original color and so on.
Extended loading phrases. Shorted. Wind turbine. Visible.
Okay, this is the wind turbine I was referring to earlier that allows us to for those who are excited to see the wind turbine moving, that correlates to the speed of wind.
Obey dark mode off.
You can set it to obey dark mode.
Answer call speech off. It's colder than an ice fisherman's naughty boots.
Sorry, got interrupted there.
Speech last updated. Speak screen. Expand speak. What the fuck? Last up Saturday. It's cold. Settings new to button. Obey dark threshold options.
Okay, the threshold options to tell it basically what you consider to be cold and hot. I find that to be interesting because then that's how it drives the comments it gives you. Those, could be funny comments.
Hot, 85 degrees Fahrenheit.
So right now the hot, these are the default settings. I didn't change them. Hot is currently 85.
Cold, 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Dew point, 70 app info. Credits. Rate this app.
Okay, and there are more settings here you can certainly explore, but just in the interest of time, I'm going to skip them. But you have credits, about FAQs and so on and so forth. Anyhow, again, I found it to be a helpful app. I've used it a few times when I'm looking for humor related to the weather. Okay, with that, turn it back to you, Michael, and start with any questions you have, please.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mo. So that was Dark Sky. Yeah, we're going to go ahead.
No, I don't think it was Dark Sky.
Sorry, that Dark Sky is actually an app that I also
okay.
very recently installed. Be happy to come back and do a demo if you wish. But this is What the Forecast.
Oh, What the Forecast. Yeah. What the WTF new acronym.
Yes, remember WTF.
Sorry about that. Okay, What the Forecast.
That's cute. Very cute.
It is. All right. I know Mo's got to return back and do dad duty here. So we're going to go ahead and open it up. Let anybody that has some questions on this app.
So just say your name and wait to be recognized, please. Anybody? Questions for Mo?
This is Sri.
Sir.
So Mo, thank you. Do you know if it will say these funny lines after it does the initial message, like, you swiped and mentioned about the wind? Can it say like funny things about as you go through the different options? Or is it just the main message that's going to be a funny script?
Yeah, so the funny script is just for the main, the overall conditions, if you will.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's Jose.
Hey, Jose.
Hey, sorry if I missed this, but if you put multiple cities, will it tell you the time in each city when you check the weather? Because the weather app on the iPhone used to do that, but I've noticed ever since the most recent upgrade, at least on my phone, it doesn't do that anymore.
Great question. It does. If you notice that when I switched to Munich, which is ahead of us, I believe by 7 hours, it said it was 9:30 something p.m. So yeah, it does.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That is a big help. Thank you. Thank you, Mo. Anybody else real quick? Anybody else question for Mo? What the forecast? Oh my goodness. We had profanity on the Apple workshop. Way to go, Mo.
I turned it down to PG-13. There's definitely an R. It's quite colorful.
I'm sure. Okay. Colder than a fisherman's whatever. I didn't hear what she said, but okay.
I'm interested in the R. I want to hear the R.
No, not right now. Okay, guys. All right. So we're good. So thank you so much, Mo. Now you got a lot going on with everything going on. So we appreciate your time and helping us. So
yeah, definitely. Thank you, Mo. Okay, let's see. Next up, we have
hold on.
Stephen Kerr.
Everybody's muted.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Okay.
Even if you'd like to go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you're going to be.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
So what I'm going to be featuring today is the focus feature, the new focus feature in iOS 15 that has a number of interesting features regarding do not disturb and the way you can customize and personalize things. So there's a lot in there. I wasn't able to cover everything, obviously, but trying to give you a general overview of how each one works. A lot of them kind of work the same way. It's just different things like work, sleep, driving, and so forth. So, Michael, whenever you want to fire it up, go ahead. Hello and welcome to this demonstration of an exciting new feature in iOS 15. It's called Focus Mode. And what Focus Mode is, it's kind of an advanced Do Not Disturb, or actually I like the way AppleVis puts it, it's a supercharged upgrade to Do Not Disturb. And what Focus Mode does, it lets you automatically filter notifications based on things that you might be currently doing, whether you're trying to get some exercise, sleep, driving, maybe working, or just personal time. And it uses on-device intelligence, and you do this during setup, and you, of course, can do it later. But it suggests apps and maybe people that you want to allow notifications from in a focus. So I am using an iPhone XS to do this, and I'm in my Settings app. So I'm going to swipe a little bit. It's not too far down the screen, but I just want to give you an idea of where you can find it. So I'm at the very beginning here of Settings.
Settings, heading.
All right, so I'm going to swipe a little bit here. Do a one-finger swipe to the right.
Dictate, but Stephen Kerr, airplane, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, set, personal, notif, sounds, focus,
Okay,
button.
so it is after Sounds and Haptics. You're going to find Focus. So I'm going to do a one-finger double tap.
Do not disturb, on, button.
All right, so Do Not Disturb is...
Add, button.
Well, it allows you to also add. We can click on that, see what it does.
Close, button. What do you want to focus on? Heading. Choose a focus to get started. Custom, button.
Okay, there's Custom.
Driving, button.
Driving.
Fitness, button.
Fitness.
Gaming, button.
Gaming.
Mindfulness.
Mindfulness. Yeah, I don't know if I want to know what that is.
Reading, button.
Reading.
Reading, button.
Okay, that's the last one. So it allows you to add one if you want to just keep going down the list. So I'm going to go back here.
Close, button.
Close that out.
Settings, back button. Focus, head, add, button. Do not disturb.
All right.
Button.
So Do Not Disturb is the first one. Let's double tap on that and see what happens.
Do not disturb. Switch button, on.
All right. So Do Not Disturb is on. That's because I turned it on so that I could do this demo and hopefully not be interrupted.
Allowed notifications, heading.
All right, so I swipe to the right. Allowed notifications is the first heading. So let's swipe right again.
People, none allowed, button.
All
A
right.
white letter on a white surface.
People. So far I haven't set this up, so there's going to be a lot of it that will be first here.
Apps, none allowed, button.
Yep.
A letter on a white surface.
All right, apps.
Allow calls and notifications from people. Apps, and those marked as time sensitive when this focus is on.
Okay, so that basically tells you what it does.
Options, heading.
All right, now we're into options.
Focus status, on, button. An illustration of a blue circle with a white circle in the center.
All right, so focus is on, of course, since I am using it.
Home screen, button. No description available.
All right, it tells you what you can do on your home screen.
Lock screen, button. A white square with a blue border.
All right, gives you options for the lock screen.
Turn on automatically, heading. 10 p.m. minus 7 a.m. Off. Every day, button. A
Okay.
blue circle with a white arrow in the middle.
So that gives you an option if you want to set it to a particular time, like at night. If you're sleeping 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can do that.
Add schedule or automation, button. A blue circle with a white cross in the center.
All right, as you can tell, I've got screen recognition. It's going to tell me what the image is here. But let's keep swiping here.
Have this focus turn on automatically at a set time, location, or while using a certain app.
All right, so that tells you can have it at a certain time or a certain app.
Have this focus turn on
And
automatically
that is the last one in the heading. So let's go back up
at a set time.
to the top
Focus,
here.
back button. Do not disturb. Switch button, on.
All right, so let's see what we can do in Do Not Disturb here.
Allowed notifications, heading. People, none allowed, button.
All right, I'm going to double tap on people here and see what we got.
Selected, people, button. 1 of 2. Apps, button. 2 of 2.
All right, so I've selected people.
Allowed people. Remove all, 0, button.
Okay, I don't have any, so.
Add person, button.
All right.
Possibly a blue cross against a white background.
So it allows you to add a person, and you can go in your contacts and just add as many people as you want for this particular focus.
Calls and notifications from people you allow will be delivered immediately when Do Not Disturb is turned on.
All right, so it's telling you what that does.
Also allow calls from everyone, button. No description available.
Okay, so you can allow calls from everyone if you like.
Allow incoming calls from everyone and repeated calls. Allow incoming calls from everyone and...
All right, so that's the last one in that mode. So, all right, so I've selected people.
Do not disturb. Back button.
Let's see what
Allow
happens if I select
selected. People.
apps.
Apps button. 2 of 2. Selected. Apps 2 of 2.
All right, I'm going to swipe to the left here.
People button. 1 of 2.
So it isn't selected on people anymore. It's now selected on apps.
Select allowed apps. Remove all. 0 button.
Okay, I don't have any apps added, but you can add them, of course.
Add app button.
And
Possibly
that's where
a blue cross against a white background.
let's double tap on add an app and let's see what we've got.
Apps heading. Done button. Search. Search field.
I'm swiping to the right with one finger, of course, as we do this.
Dictate button. Section index. Adjustable. Google Maps.
Okay, so Google Maps is the first one.
Health.
Health.
Cap I. iTunes Store.
Okay, iTunes Store.
Cap L. Lyft.
Lyft.
Cap M. Mail. Messages.
All right, I'm going to double tap on messages. Let's see what happens here.
Selected. Messages.
Okay.
MLB.
All right, so this gets into the other apps here. So I've selected messages. So I'm going to hit the done
Apps.
button.
Heading. Done button. Do not disturb. Back button. Allow people. Selected. Allowed apps. Selected. Apps button. 2 of 2. Allowed apps. Remove all. 1. Add app button. Remove. Messages button.
Okay, so it shows that I have messages added. Now I can remove it if I swipe to the left here.
Add app button.
Or I can add another app if I want to do that. So that's kind of the way that you can add apps or people to see what notifications and how you want them displayed. All right, let's go back.
Do not disturb. Back button. Do not disturb. Focus. Back button. Do not disturb. Allowed notifications. Heading. Do not disturb. People. None allowed. Button.
Okay,
a white
so-
letter on a white surface. Apps. Messages. Button. A
Right,
letter on a
so
white
it's
surface.
going to tell me that I have messages, so I've allowed that.
Allow calls and notifications from people. Apps. And those marked as type. Options. Heading. Focus status. On. Button.
Okay.
Home screen. Button. No description of.
All right, so the rest of these, as we mentioned, home screen, lock screen, these are different things that you can set up if you so choose. I'm not going to, in the interest of time, we're not going to go through all of these, obviously, but this is just an overview of what we can do with it. So I'm going to go back now.
8:02 p.m. Focus. Back button. Focus. Do not disturb. On. Button.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Do not disturb was there. Let's see what.
Personal. Set up. Button.
All right, personal, set up. Let's double tap on that, see what it brings up.
Close. Button. Personal focus. Heading. Don't miss out. Allow notifications from important people and apps. And silence the rest across all devices.
All right, so that allows you to allow certain notifications from certain people or apps that you want to set up for.
Share your way. Let others know you're away with a status that says you have notifications silenced.
Now, what this is, like, let's say someone messages you, you can see whether their notifications are turned on or off, basically. It shows you that. So that is another feature that, I don't particularly want to see if someone's notifications are on or off, and I don't know that I want them seeing mine. But for some that do, it's good to have that. All right, going to swipe to the right here.
Next. Button.
Okay, next.
Next. Button.
Let's go to next. See
Allow
what
people for notifications. Heading. Choose the people you want notifications from when this focus is on. Allowed people. Remove all. Add person. Button. Remove all. 7. Button.
Okay, apparently I have 7 here. I don't remember doing that, but let's...
Add person. Button. Remove. Jet. Remove. Carla. Button. Remove. Barbara. Button.
Okay, so it does give me some names here. Those are people who are in my contacts. So apparently I have them on here, so it does show me that I have several people that I've added, even though I don't remember doing that, but maybe I have short-term memory. Anyway, so that's an idea of how that is. Let's go back.
Back button. Back button. Close. Button. Don't miss out. Share your way. Close. Button.
Let's close this out.
Personal. Set up. Button. Sleep. Set up.
All right, so we've got sleep. Let's go into that real briefly and see what that's all about.
Close. Button. Sleep focus. Heading. Don't miss out. Allow notifications from important people and apps while sleeping. And silence the rest across all devices.
All right, so it's basically the same thing here. As far as I'm concerned, if it's an emergency, that's about the only time I want to be woken up. But it does allow you to do the same thing here.
Share your way. Let others connect with health. Set up a sleep schedule and wind down routine.
Okay, there's something different. You can actually connect it to your health app and have it do that while you're sleeping.
Next button.
All right, so there's the next button. You can continue into there. So let's go back now.
Close button. Close button. Sleep. Set up button. Work. Set up.
Okay,
Button.
so there's work.
Close button. Work focus. Heading. Don't miss out. Allow notifications from important people and apps while working. And silence the rest across all devices. Turn on automatically. Have work focus turn on for you at a set time, location, or while using certain apps.
Okay, so this is very helpful, especially, if you have a particular work schedule, whether it's a regular schedule or if you're like me and work from home, kind of varies. You can actually schedule how these notifications are seen while you're working.
Share your way. Let others know you're working with a status that says you have notifications silenced.
Okay, the same message that we've been getting on all these focuses here.
Next button.
And then there's the next button. So that's the one for work.
Close button.
We're going to close that out.
Work. Set up button.
Okay, one thing I will say is I'm not touching the screen when I close, so it is actually sitting on the last thing that I double tapped on, which of course was work. It's been doing that the whole time, so that's very helpful. So if I want to know what the next thing is, all I have to do is one finger swipe to the right.
Focus silences alerts and notifications.
And it tells me what it does.
Share across devices. On.
And I can share across devices. That's very useful too. You can actually, if you have more than one device, you can actually use it for all devices.
Turning a focus on for this device will also turn it on for your other devices.
And it just explained what I explained.
Turning a focus on for this device will also.
And that is that window.
8:07 p.m. Settings. Back button.
So basically, if we go back.
Settings. Heading.
That is how focus works. And again, that's just a general overview. We didn't get into very deeply a lot of what it does, but it certainly gives you an idea. It basically allows you to customize pretty much any way you want, not just turning on Do Not Disturb or turning off all notifications. It allows you to customize it. So that's a very nice, handy feature for those if you want to delve really deeply into it. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this demo. I hope it's been helpful for you. And of course, we'll have some questions here at the end. So thank you for listening and see you next time.
All right, very good. Thank you. Great job, as usual, Stephen Kerr.
Thank you, sir.
Let's see. I think we will go ahead and, Sandhya, if you want to unmute everybody again, we're going to have questions right now for Stephen.
All right, all set. Anybody have a question? Say your name, please.
Focus feature.
Focus.
There's a lot of meat on that bone, I'll tell you, after delving into that. Go ahead, Marty.
Just wanted to know, with playing around with the focus effect, most of the clock apps aren't working. Would changing anything in the focus app maybe help that, solve that problem or not?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't tried to do it in the clock app.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think I have Do Not Disturb turned off. So I don't even that might be a moot point because I don't even have that function turned on. So
yeah, you want Do Not Disturb turned on, and that way you can set notifications. But you can go through the apps, like I showed the list of apps. I mean, you can go through each app and customize for each one. So are you talking about the general clock app, the native one?
Not the general clock app, but some of these third-party apps, like the chiming and all, the pinging and all is not working anymore. So I didn't know if going into the Focus app and making some changes, that's what I want to do, is get that to work.
You could try it. I don't know that it, with third-party apps, of course, it's always kind of finicky, but I mean, it does list them in the list when you want to add an app in the focus mode. So, I mean, that's something you could try and see if that solves your problem.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks, Marty. Anybody else?
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
So, Stephen, can you tell Siri to enable one of the different focuses, or do you have to go to the Focus app to enable it?
I believe you can. I don't know how in depth it can go into it, but you know that's probably something I should have tried to feature. But she might be able to do some basic things for you on that. Unfortunately, I'm having to work while I'm doing this, so I wasn't able to get on my computer and do it separately. Otherwise, I'd do it for you.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
This is Sandhya.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
So I think it shows, just like whenever you turn on Do Not Disturb, does it show the name of it? Or I mean, I guess it does, because I know when I have Do Not Disturb on, it says that. It now says Focus on. So
it does. Now, if your screen is locked, like when you unlock the screen and you swipe through, it will show you. It says Focus, and then when you're once you've gone into your screen, if you do the status bar and you swipe, it does show Do Not Disturb if it's turned on.
So this is Sandhya.
Go ahead.
I think that this would be I'm just, hearing your presentation. I mean, I've thought about how powerful it is. I mean, often I've gone to a meeting and then I forget to turn off Do Not Disturb, because you try to silence everything and then you're not getting any calls till the next day. They're like,
I've done that.
Why aren't you answering the phone? Are you dead? So I think if you use this, then it would guarantee that that doesn't happen and, avoid problems down the line. So.
Yeah, I agree. And this is, a lot of this, I've only kind of scratched the surface with it. Like I said, there's a lot in there, and it definitely allows you to customize a lot of different things. So yeah, that way you don't necessarily have to do it generally across the board.
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen too, believe me.
This is Jose.
Jose, go ahead.
I have a question. Where do I need to go? Because what I've noticed about this feature now, I'm working, I put on Do Not Disturb, it says Focus. I pick up my phone, it doesn't show my notifications on the screen. I have to unlock my phone in order for the notifications to pop up on my lock screen. Do you know where in that Focus I have to go? Because back in the old days, you would put Do Not Disturb and you would get notifications, and my phone, of course, wouldn't make any noise, but I could see all the notifications that came through.
Yeah, there is, of course, in settings that, in notifications, you can have that as well. But I think also in Focus, there's a way you can turn it on and off.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else?
This is Jody.
Hi, Jody. Go ahead.
Hi. Thank you, Stephen. That was really great. The other day I was looking through customizing the control center, and Focus is an item that you can add to your control center.
That's correct. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
This is Brad.
Hey, Brad.
One of the favorite things that I have done with both Do Not Disturb before and now with Focus, and of course, Focus is within Do Not Disturb. It's like Sandhya was talking about meetings and things. If I have the opportunity to add something like a meeting or something like, say, the iBUG Buzz to my calendar, I'm able to open Control Center, Focus, and actually, I think if you flick up on it, I can't remember what it says. It says Open Options, and I can see right there, because I think I've already opened Do Not Disturb. One of the options is it will show your upcoming calendar event or the next calendar event. And they usually show up about 15 minutes in advance of the start time of the event. And so you can, of course, adjust the start time you put in your calendar so that you can manipulate that 15 minutes so where you're able to turn it on, in advance. And then you don't have to remember it. It will turn on Focus, Do Not Disturb for that event and automatically turn it off for you, so you don't have to remember.
Yeah,
that's a really great feature.
Yeah, those are both great features. Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, there's so much in there. I would have liked to have explored more of that in the work and, some of the other focuses. but it does, it really gives you a lot of power as far as customizing. Like if you're, like, let's say you do want to receive, like if you're expecting an important phone call, say from Sandhya, for instance, you know, I could go in there, even if I'm working, if I think Sandhya is going to call me with something, you know, I can schedule where I can have those notifications on when she does. So yeah, there's a lot of really neat customization, you know, and like you said, adding to the calendar and different things you could do that I wish I could have explored further. Just in the interest of time, we couldn't do that.
Sandhya.
Go ahead, Sandhya.
Does the okay, I think we've talked about this, but I don't remember, like, does the focus settings trump your favorites and all that? I mean, I don't know if you've gotten far enough into it, or does anybody know, or are they independent?
You know, that's a good question. I hadn't looked. I don't use the favorites a lot. I used to. I don't really have. You're talking about favorites in your phone, right?
Yeah, favorites in your phone.
Right.
So
where it had it before, it would automatically, like if you had somebody in your favorites, I think
Right.
you could have a setting where it would call you just people in your favorites.
Right,
But
if
I
you
don't
would
really
allow
use the
them to.
favorites feature much anymore. So that isn't something that I've tried to use.
This is Jose. I want
Oh,
to
go ahead,
answer
Jose.
a question. I think I do that. I still have favorites, and there is a setting in Focus where you can let calls from favorites come through. Is that
Okay.
what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
that's
do.
what she's wondering. So you
Yep.
can override that. Or
Yes, you can.
keep it that way. Good, very good. Okay. Anybody else who hasn't had a chance to ask a question?
This is
Yeah.
Brad.
Well, let's
You
see
know,
if there's
I'm
anybody
wondering-
else, Brad, and then I'll come back to
Okay,
you.
yeah. I had another
Go ahead.
question for you.
Anybody else that hasn't had a turn yet?
Time for
Okay, Brad.
one more question. This will
Okay,
be
well, Brad, Brad, go ahead. Go for it.
Well, I know there's a way that you can, enable or disable calls from people on your favorites list. But what if you don't want just anybody on your favorites list? Are you able to customize it? So like you mentioned the example of a call from, Sandhya or somebody else, maybe one of your coworkers, your boss, somebody like that. You're busy, you're working, and you don't want to be bothered by anybody, even family members or, whoever's in your favorites, but you got one, maybe, or two people you'd like to be able to get a call or a text from. Is there able to set that up?
You talking about like if that person is in favorites?
No, just select someone, not everybody. You maybe have 5 or 6 people in your favorites. I don't want to be bothered by just anybody in your favorites.
Right.
But you got, you're working on something you just want, but there's one person, 2 people that you would need to know if they called.
Yeah, that's where, like, you can, when you add a person, or you can select a person to get calls from during that focus. So that's definitely something that you should be able to add in there, if it's just specific people that you want calls from in that group. Okay.
All right, very
All
good.
right.
Thank you, Stephen, again. Yeah, one thing I noticed when I was using it, I used to have the sleep mode, and that carried over into a new focus now. But my sleep mode used to also include do not disturb. So now those are 2 separate things. So I have to have those set up separately.
Yeah, it does get a little confusing when you first look at it. It's like, well, are they one and the same, or are they 2 different things? So it is
Right.
a bit kind of it's a little bit of a learning curve, I think, just to figure out, what's the same and what you can actually do separately. But
Yeah, definitely.
a
All
lot of
right.
stuff there.
Great job, Stephen. All right, our next demo is someone again that everybody's familiar with. She was here actually, was it last month? Maybe, or the month before? And that
2 months
is Kris Eshte. And she's going to, well, I'll let Kris come on down. Tell us what you're going to be talking about.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. Okay, so Snuffleupagus / Count Dracula here, apparently. Thank you all for being here. And yes, I'm bringing up the rear again. I'm like a bad penny. I just keep showing up. Heads I win, tails you lose. So what I'd like to share with you today is just some little tips and tricks that I read about. And when I read them, I thought, oh, that's interesting. So hopefully you will too. So 4 of these are just alternative ways to do things that you already know how to do, just alternative gestures to them. And the other 2 are features that, as far as I know, it's the only way to do them. So I'll start, I've already mentioned 3 of these on a prior call, so I'll start with those 3 and then get to the other 3. So some of you may know all of this, or all of you may know some of this, but probably not all of you know all of this, according to Abraham Lincoln. So I'll start with the first one, which is it's called the page indicator. And that's the page indicator that's at the bottom right of every screen that lets you rotate and navigate through your home screens. So normally when you go to that one, so we'll go ahead and swipe to that one.
Page 3 of 7, adjustable. Swipe up or down with one finger to adjust the value.
So we all know to swipe up or down to go to the next page, up or down, which we can do. So we can swipe up.
Page 4 of 7.
And swipe up again.
Page 5 of 7.
Swipe down again.
Page 4 of 7.
But if we want to go forward, if we don't want to do the swiping, just a quick little tip there is you can also double tap. So if I double tap instead of swiping, so I'll double tap.
Page 5 of 7, adjustable.
Double tap.
Page 6 of 7, adjustable.
So that's it, just a quick little tip there. Now, I don't know how to go backwards. It didn't say that when I read it, but it does let you go forward if you just want to double tap on that. So I can also just swipe back again.
Page 5 of 7, page 4 of 7.
Same thing.
Page 3 of 7.
Okay, so that's just the first little tip. So the second tip is dealing with the rotor. Yes, that gesture that we all love and begrudge, the rotor. So pay attention to this. If you're planning to buy one of those new Apple or Canoe cars, you may need to know this alternative rotor gesture. So we know the one that everybody was taught as far as just putting the 2 fingers on the screen and rotating, turning it like a dial. If you have some limitations, perhaps with your motor skills, you may want to try this other one out. Now, I know there's under iOS 15, they have quick settings, and that's a little bit of an alternative to the rotor gesture with turning the dial, but not everything is in there. So you might want to explore this one a little bit. So just briefly, if you just put 2 fingers on the screen, I use my right index and my left index finger, and you just place them towards the middle of the screen. And if you just flick your right finger to the right and your left finger to the left, that will go through your rotor clockwise. So if I try that, I'll just put my fingers touching to the middle and just flick to each one to the right, one to the left.
Characters, words.
So that's going clockwise. And if I put my 2 fingers again towards the middle of the screen, but then I reverse them, put my right finger flicking to the left and my left finger flicking to the right, I'll go counterclockwise. So
characters. Adjust value, language,
okay.
Default.
And I'll go back forward again.
Adjust value, characters, words.
So that's the horizontal version of this rotor gesture. It also works vertically. So you can take your 2 fingers and you can put them next to each other on the screen. And you can swipe, for instance, the left finger up and the right finger down to go forward. So I'll do that.
Headings. Speaking rate, 56%.
Or you can, again, do it backwards. Just switch the gesture, put my left finger going down and my right finger going up to go counterclockwise.
Headings, words, characters.
So that's just a little extra if you wanted to do something different with the rotor instead of the turning the dial sort of thing. So let's see where I am for this.
Words.
So we'll leave it there. Okay, so that was number 2. So the next little tip that I read about, and again, I know we all have ways to do these, but if you want a second way to do these, you might want to try these. The next one is if you have an app. So let's go to an app.
Seeing AI.
Seeing AI.
Double tap to open.
What we can do here, we can flick up and down and get those different options that we know, like to edit, and then do some more options to move it or delete. But there's also another gesture here. If you just, any app, if you just do a 1 finger triple tap, so just instead of double tapping, triple tap. So 1, 2, 3.
Document button.
It brings up a context menu, and it's sort of a combination between a widget view and the flicking up and down options that you get. So if we go through this, so this was seeing AI. So if we flick to the right,
product button.
So again, I can do something with this app without actually having to open the entire app, sort of like a widget purpose of it. So swipe to the right again.
Person button.
This is part of seeing AI. Swipe to the right again.
Scene button.
Again.
Edit home screen button.
That's the edit home screen. That's the same thing you would get if you flicked up or down on the app. So I'll swipe to the right again.
Share app button.
I like the share option. the share app, because I can double tap that and I can decide how and who I want to share it with. Before, if I wanted to share an app, I'd have to go back to the App Store, go to the apps I downloaded, go find it again in the App Store or something like that. This is easy. You can just triple tap, and if you want to share it, this is how you share it. Right? So I really like that. And one more swipe to the right.
Remove app button.
Remove app. This is the same. Again, if you flicked up or down, and one of those options on the app before you open it is that edit and then delete. This is the same thing here. So if I double tap on remove app.
Alert, remove seeing AI.
So I'll just flick to the right.
Removing from home screen will keep the app in your app library.
Swipe to the right.
Delete app button.
So I can delete it too.
Remove from home screen button.
I can either remove it from home screen, which will just move it to the app library, or I can swipe to the left.
Delete app button.
Double tap delete.
Alert, delete seeing AI.
Swipe to the right.
Deleting this app will also delete this data.
So if I delete it, instead of removing it, it will actually delete it from my phone. Swipe to the right.
Cancel button.
I'll just cancel.
Seeing AI.
And
double tap to open.
And I'm back to where I started from. It's just focused back on the actual app, Seeing AI, not the context menu. So that's that. So another little, I thought, little handy dandy little trick there. So the next little option, the next little alternative gesture is another one that we're all familiar with. It's the scrub gesture. And most of us learned it, or at least I learned it, as a 2-finger scrub horizontally. So turning your 2 fingers to the side and then starting, say, on the left side and going right, left across the middle of the screen, or vice versa, which works fine. But a lot of people seem to have a little bit of problem with doing that gesture, at least initially when they first learn it. I know I did. So there's an alternative to that gesture. So very simply, if I go to my app switcher.
App switcher, settings.
We'll go to
active.
settings.
Settings.
So I just want you to see, it's just the scrub gesture, but I just want you to see that it does work. So right now I'm in the voiceover settings. So
settings, heading, search field, settings, heading, search, dictate, Kris Hashtag, Apple, Apple TV Plus 3 available, Bluetooth on,
we'll just pick
cellular,
one.
button, note, sound, focus, screen, general, button.
Let's just go into general.
About, button.
Swipe to the right.
Software up, airdrop, button, airplay and handoff, picture in picture, card play, button, home button, button.
We'll just pick one.
iPhone storage, button.
iPhone storage, for instance.
iPhone, 68 gigabytes of 128 gigabytes.
So now I'm in the iPhone storage screen. If I just want to back up like the regular scrub gesture, I can do that, but I can also do it with a 2 fingers also, but scrubbing up and down, so vertically.
iPhone, 68.
Vertically instead of horizontally. So if I just do 2 fingers and scrub down, up, or up, down, but vertically on the screen. So let me try that. Down, up,
iPhone storage, button. Settings, back button, general, heading, about, button. Software update, button. Airdrop, button.
Okay, so it did. So it took me back out to the main
settings,
setting here.
General.
So I just wanted you to see that scrub gesture works either way, horizontally or vertically, up, down, which I think is a little easier. So, all right, that's number 4. So I'll go back, hit my home button again. Let's see where we are. Back on Seeing AI. Okay, this next feature, it's called handwriting. And I never really tried it before, but I started trying it with this, and it's a feature that lets you actually write on the screen. So you can write numbers or letters or punctuation on the screen as opposed to a keypad. And I find this most handy for the passcode. So people have asked about that in the past. How do you key in your, for instance, just your phone passcode if you want some privacy and you don't have headphones on, maybe you're in public. This is the way you could do that. So I'll go ahead and lock my screen. I'll hit the sidebar and I'll do a lock on it. So now it's locked. So I hit the sidebar again.
3:39 p.m.
Swipe to the right.
100% 3:39 Saturday, November. Focus mode. Do not disturb on. Press home to unlock button.
I'll double tap.
Passcode field. 0 of 4 values entered. Secure text field.
So here's my passcode. Here's my passcode field. So if I use my rotor the old-fashioned way,
handwriting.
Go to handwriting. It defaults to lowercase. If it's just a numeric field, it will default to numbers. But because this is both, it came up as lowercase. So if you do a 3-finger swipe up or down, it will rotate through the options for handwriting. So let me do that. I'll 3-finger swipe down.
Uppercase.
3-finger swipe down again.
Numbers.
3-finger swipe down again.
Punctuation.
3-finger swipe down again.
Lowercase.
Okay, so I want to get to numbers.
Uppercase.
3-finger swipe.
Numbers.
So I'm in numbers. So I'm going to just write as a number on my screen with my finger. Okay.
Not recognized.
There we go.
Seeing AI. Double tap to open.
And Shazam, Sergeant Carter, I'm in. Okay. So that's really handy. And again, I use this feature for the passcode on my screen when I don't want anybody to hear it. For instance, there's a screen time app on the phone for kids. And my kids are always running up to me and, Mom, we're going to have more screen time. Mom, can you approve this app? Mom, we're going to have a pony, whatever. So it's really helpful to be able to just use my rotor, go to handwriting, and then just use my finger on the screen to do this. So, all right. So we're still on the home screen. So one other feature that this handwriting lets you do is if you use your rotor, whichever way you want to use it, the rotor, and go to handwriting.
Handwriting, lowercase.
I'm in handwriting. It's at lowercase. I'm going to 3-finger swipe down to get to uppercase.
Uppercase.
Okay. I'm going to, and this is a little persnickety. I upgraded this phone to iOS 15 last night, so it's a little persnickety here. So we'll see how it goes. But for instance, you can use this as a search feature also. So if I didn't want to go into the search and key step in with the Bluetooth keyboard of dictation, I'll key in uppercase B. And by the way, it does recognize print block letters and cursive letters. Not great, but it does do it. So let's try an uppercase block letter B.
B, 5 apps, Bard Mobile.
So it brings up 5 apps. Within this little handwriting gesture, it has its own little mini set of gestures, just like the zoom feature and the magnifier. So for this one, to go through the apps that it just found, I do a 2-finger swipe up or down to rotate through the apps that it just found for me. So I'll do a 2-finger swipe down.
Be My Eyes.
2-finger swipe down.
Be Speaker. Books. By Fire.
And if I keep swiping, it's just going to wrap around, go back to the beginning.
Bard Mobile.
Okay. So I'll do another 2-finger swipe down.
Be My Eyes.
If I wanted to narrow this even further, since I'm still in uppercase, I'll do a 3-finger touch to make sure where I am, which setting I'm on.
Uppercase.
Uppercase. I can key in an uppercase A, and it should be able to narrow the search even more to just apps that are B and A. So let's try that. Let me put my phone down. Let's try it.
Not recognized.
That's me just touching the phone on accident.
A, 1 app, Bard Mobile.
So I keyed in an uppercase A, print, and it's came back with Bard Mobile, and that's the only one. So if I do a 2-finger swipe down,
Bard Mobile.
2-finger swipe up,
Bard Mobile.
That's the only one that starts with a B and an A. Now I'm supposed to be able to do a 2-finger swipe to the left, which is the delete function, but it was being a little wonky this morning. So I'll try it. It should just erase the A and go back to all the B's, but I'll try it. Let's see.
0 apps.
Yeah, that's what it was doing this morning. 0 apps. It did erase it, but it's not telling me that it's here, because if I do another 2-finger swipe to the left and delete the B, it will list all my apps. So I'll do that. 2-finger swipe to the left.
140 apps, 7 workout.
So it starts with all my apps. And if I do a 2-finger swipe down,
97.3 the dog, access world.
It's just going to start listing all my apps that way. So, and I'll show you, I'll just try like let me do a lowercase. I'll do a 3-finger swipe up.
Lowercase.
And I'll try a cursive F. Let's just try a cursive F, because that's pretty different from the print F. And I know you just have to take my word for it. I'm trying to write in a lowercase cursor F. Let's try it.
T, 11 apps.
No,
TV.
T, let's try it again.
140 apps.
Let me try it again.
F, 6
There we
apps.
go. F.
FaceTime.
Okay, and if I'll try like the print F. That was a cursive lowercase F. I'll try a lowercase print F. It's not going to find anything, but I'll just see if it can recognize it. So here we go.
R, not recognized.
R.
F.
F, there we go. So it's a little persnickety, but it does work. And one other thing you can do with this, you can go into Safari, rotor to handwriting. And if you key in a lowercase h or uppercase H, you can navigate by headings that way. So it's kind of like the voiceover quick nav keys. It does work in Safari, or like a lowercase L or uppercase L if you want to navigate by links. Also, if you go into something like an app like the Contacts app, and it has that section index, you can set your focus to that, rotor to handwriting. And again, you can write in an H, and you can 2-finger swipe up or down, and you can navigate by headings that way. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to hit my home button again.
Home, Safari.
Back in
Double
Safari.
tap to open.
So the last thing here, the last app that feature that I want to show you here is, it's called, it's a little disconcerting. It's a way, and maybe you guys knew about this, it was news to me. It's a way to hide an entire home screen, because parenting teenagers just wasn't hard enough, I guess, according to Apple. You can hide an entire home screen. So not sure why you would want to do that, but if you did want to do something like that, so let's just say, for instance, so I'm going to do a 3-finger swipe to the left to get to a different home
Page 2
screen.
of 7, Twitter. Page 3 of 7, Seeing AI. Page 4 of 7, iRecorder.
Okay.
Double tap to open.
Okay, so right now I'm on page.
Group, iRecorder, row 1, column 1, page 4 of 7, top of screen.
Page
double
4 of
tap to
7. Page 4 of 7. So if I wanted to remove this entire home screen of apps, all these apps, and it's a full screen, the way that you do it is you flick up or down on just pick an app, any app, flick up or down. So I'll just flick down.
Edit mode.
Double tap edit mode.
Started editing.
Start editing. Then you go down to the page selector in the bottom right corner.
Doc, rec up is editing. Page 4 of 8, adjustable.
Okay.
Swipe up or down with one.
Page 4 of 8. Then you double tap on the page selector. So I'll double tap.
Home screen page hiding. Page 4 of 8, adjustable.
So if I touch up towards the top.
Page 1, visible.
Page 1,
Double
visible.
tap to hide page. Page 2, visible. Double tap to hide page.
So it just goes through all your pages. I think I have 8 on this phone. Let's go to 4 where I came from, but I don't have to start there. I can hide any of these. So I'll swipe to the right.
Page 3, visible.
One
Double
more.
tap to hide page 4, visible. Double tap to hide page.
Let's hide it. I'll double tap.
Page 4, hidden.
Now it says hidden. So I'll hit the home button or my new scrub gesture, vertical scrub gesture, or the home button to get out of this.
Reddit is editing.
Go back
Add
to the
widget
top.
button.
So I know I'm still editing because I have the widget. So if I swipe to the
Seeing AI
right,
is editing.
I just
Double
flick
stop
down.
editing apps.
Double tap,
Finish
stop
editing.
editing. Double tap, stop editing. Okay, so let's see, where am I? I'm on Seeing AI. So where am I now?
Translate.
Let's go look.
Double translate. Page 3 of 6.
Page 3
adjustable.
of 6. 3 of 6. Before this was page 4 of 7. So if I swipe up to the right to go to the next page, to go forward.
Page 4 of 6.
Let's see what's up there.
Walmart.
Walmart.
Double tap to open.
Go to the next page over.
Page 5 of 6. Best new Trader Joe's products 2000. Lazarillo. Double tap to open.
So the one that we had, and I forgot the app that was on there, it's gone. That entire page is gone. So you might think, well, how do you get it back? You just sort of reverse the process. So you can pick any app. Again, I'm on Lazarillo. I can flick down.
Edit mode.
Double tap edit mode.
Started editing.
Go back down, find the page selector, any page selector.
Page 5 of 7. Adjustable.
Double tap.
Swipe up or down. Home screen page hiding. Page 6 of 7. Adjustable.
Touch toward the top of the screen again.
Page 2. Visible. Double tap to hide page.
Swipe to the right.
Page 3. Visible. Double tap to hide page.
Swipe up to the right again.
Page 4. Hidden. Double
Hidden.
tap to show page.
Let's double tap to show it.
Page 4. Visible.
Okay. I'll do my scrub gesture. Up and down, up and down.
Access World Home Vertical Line American Foundation for the Blind is editing.
Well, it still says it's editing, so I'll just go ahead and swipe down.
Stop editing apps.
And double tap. Stop
Finish editing.
Okay. So let's go see where we are for our page selector. Let's see.
Access World Home Vertical Line American Foundation for the Blind. Row 5, column 1, page 6 of 7. Center of screen.
Page 6 of 7. So now I have 7 pages again. So I'll go back one page to see.
Page 5 of 7. Walmart.
One
Double
more
tap
page.
to open.
I'll go back one more page.
Page 4 of 7. iRecorder.
iRecorder. That's the one that was missing. iRecorder. So there you have it. So that's all I have for this. Thank you for your time and stay safe out there.
Oh, wow. The amazing finger gestures of Kris E. Yes, yes. All
And
right. Thank you, Kris.
This is Sandhya. What letter did she pick to look up, right? The letter that you chose, I think it was what, the F, right?
Yeah. All right, let's open it up, see if there's any questions here. We got a little bit of time left. Questions for any of the 6 different tips that
Okay.
Kris went over. That was some neat things there. I didn't know. Well, I don't know.
All right, everybody can unmute. Who
This is
George.
George.
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead.
Hey, was she handwriting in print or handwriting in uncontracted braille or braille?
This is Kris. I was not
I'm being silly. I'm being silly. Sorry.
I'm not that smart, George.
Anybody else? Questions?
This is
for-
Sarah.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
Hi. I came late, but I just wanted to say, is it Chrissy? Is that what you said?
Kris.
Yeah,
Kris.
yeah, Kris.
Chris? Okay. I am so impressed. I thought I was a good voiceover user. I'm like fast. I thought I was good. You knocked my socks off, and well, I don't have any on, but anyway.
Thank you, dear
just
lady.
kudos.
Thank you so much. You need higher standards, Sarah.
Oh, you think? I don't think so.
All right, very good. Who else we got? Anybody else have a question for Kris? Okay.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Yeah, Kris, thank you. I'm a big fan of handwriting. I use it all the time. One of the things that I use it a lot for is when you change the keyboard, sometimes you don't know where the @ symbol is. I change it to handwriting and just draw @ So, it's a very powerful tool and it does a lot of things.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea, Sri. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, depending on the keyboard settings, it can be different places. I was trying to think of a use for the hiding the home screen page.
I don't know.
What that would be.
Other than my teenagers, I don't know.
This is Sri.
This is Marty.
Sri, then Marty.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons they came up with the hide the screen is the fact that you have the app library. And so you really don't need all these apps. And like I use all 15 pages. And so hiding these things, especially for pages that you don't maybe use very frequently. So when you're swiping, it's just bypassing it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever need to find it, you can always go to the app library.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a good, yeah. Go ahead, Marty.
So if you want to use it, how do you get to the handwriting feature to be able to use it?
This is Kris. You have to add it to your rotor, Marty, when you go under the settings, accessibility, voiceover, rotor. It's one of the options you can pick, like, characters or words or those kind of things. You have to add the handwriting to your rotor. I think that's the only place it is. And also, once you add it in your rotor by selecting it through those settings under voiceover, rotor, then when you go into help, the actual settings, accessibility, voiceover help, it'll show up as in the top left, it'll be a little handwriting icon, and you can practice your handwriting in the voiceover help, but only through the settings way to get to the voiceover help, not the 4-finger double tap.
And is that a feature that sighted people can use, like without voiceover, or is it strictly a voiceover feature?
It's a good question. I don't know, since it's in the rotor under voiceover. I don't know I'm not sure.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else? Questions for Kris, or even back to Stephen's focus mode? I know Mo had to already leave, but on any of the those two things that were shared today. All right, well, very good. Once again, thanks to all of our demolitionists, Mo, Stephen, and Kris. Yes.
This is true.
And who else? I heard somebody there
This is
during
Sri.
the applause. Sri, okay.
Yeah, I just want to make, there's a gentleman who made a comment about iPad and his home button wasn't working. And I think what Kris just explained about the passcode, that's a very good solution for him.
Oh, yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Jose is still here or not, but yeah, I can think about that. That's probably a good thing there. Okay.
This is
Sandhya, yes.
I when I know my letters, but I don't know if it would be like physically faster to do that versus typing the letter. So I don't know if you've ever like compared it, or is it, I don't know. I understand the security reasons, but like otherwise just on a daily basis, whether I would go to the virtual keyboard versus handwriting, I'm not sure. I guess I'm less comfortable with handwriting. So any thoughts?
Jody?
Jody.
Yeah, Kris, thank you. That was so cool. I especially like the alternative to the scrub gesture.
Yeah.
But, I never thought about using handwriting for a lot of the symbols, like the @ and instead of having to search through, 3 separate keyboards to find the plus sign or whatever, I never thought of that. So I'm going to go turn my handwriting on. So thank you.
Yeah, that would be a good tip from Sheree. Yeah, and again, it's got its own little set of gestures. So just do the 3-finger swipe up or down, because if you try and swipe to the right or the left, it'll just say not recognized, not recognizing. You're like, oh, I have to do the special little gestures within this handwriting feature. So.
All right, very good. I don't know that we answered Sandhya's question.
This is Sheree.
Hang on, Sheree. Are you trying to answer Sandhya's question?
Yeah.
Earlier? Okay, go ahead.
So I actually tried it, seeing how fast I could handwrite versus the, obviously touch typing. And obviously you touch type faster, but what I do like about the handwriting is for someone who's not very good with the virtual keyboard and they know their letters, and then they do a little bit better with handwriting than trying to peck with the virtual keyboard.
Okay, this is Sandhya.
Yep, go ahead.
What if you don't know what the @ symbol looks like?
You're in big trouble.
Jody?
I don't know where the @ is at, I don't know.
I don't know where the @ is at. This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Draw the lowercase a and then put a circle around the lowercase a. That's the @ sign.
Yeah.
Learn something new every
And then
day.
hashtag looks like a tic-tac-toe board.
Okay.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. All right. If there are no more questions, I want to thank everyone for being with us today, and appreciate my co-host Sandhya, and again, Mo, Stephen, and Kris for the excellent demos. And we'll be back here again. Forgot the date now.
December 18th.
18th.
December 18th. we'll be up.
Saturday before Christmas.
Yes.
So
Yes.
come back and join us. And we wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. But before then, we will have an iBUG Buzz Monday night and Mac and Talk on Tuesday night. So join us for those before Thanksgiving.
All right. Very good. See y'all.
Thank you.
Oh, no. We did that already.
Take care.
We're done.
It's Thanksgiving Day and we're gathered round.
Bye,
little
y'all. Happy
children make a
Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
joyful sound.
Bye,
There's no
everybody.
school
Blessings
to
to
get
everyone.
play,
All right,
and we're
take
all
care.
I got the
thankful
turkey
for this
song
day.
too.
Bye.
Except
I feel
for
sorry
the
for you,
turkey.
Jody.
La, 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 la,
Oh,
la, 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 except for the
Stop.
turkey.
Stop
There's a
already.
wreath of leaves on the
Stop.
front